New evidence against Lil Durk was made public during his court appearance today, evidence of prior attempts to acquire Quando Rondo, as well as proof that Durk was aiming for his own team. It reads, "Lol, Durk is facing allegations from federal prosecutors that he put hits on OBlock members for not retaliating for King Von. The prosecution plans to call a witness who claims Durk gave the orders. In the evidence file, it indicates that defendant Durk Banks feuds with OBlock member Mana Duke over Banks's belief that OBlock members were not properly retaliating for Bennett's passing, aka King Vaughn. The feds also got this proof from OBlock members who are now snitching on Durk. This resulted in the revocation of Durk's bond, as well as a widely circulated tweet that read, "If you think Durk was rejected bond because he's rich and you don't know anything about the case." In reality, D-Brother recently discovered all information, and instead of revealing it to the public, they are keeping it a secret to shock Durk's attorneys, who were completely right. This was unexpected by Durk's attorneys, and let me explain all of this. It says, the new Little Ted body cam footage, which shows him begging to snitch against Durk and F members, has now changed the situation. Durk's lawyers submitted a lot of paperwork about their bond request, which made people wonder who Lil Ted is and what he says. Lil Ted is the name of DD's younger brother. For anything street-related or anything else you can think of, D is Durk's go-to person. When police apprehended Lil Ted at a neighboring convenience store, he had a pistol in his pants pocket.
Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
The boy would then be brought right here to the police station. But before he had even gotten inside, he was crying and sobbing to the police. "I swear I'll tell you about the fatalities in the hopes of escaping jail time, but it was much too late for him."
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
As he was placed in the waiting cell, Lil Ted would cry because all he wanted was to come forward and confess to the atrocities he knew had been perpetrated by the squad so he could be brought home and released.
Oh, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? What you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We can see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
Given that DD is his older brother, it's impossible to tell how many crimes DD and he may have committed together over the years, considering that he has a younger brother. But when they discovered that someone had snitched using the family last name in all of the court records, everyone believed it was FD. However, Durk is being spied on by other people as well. Even though D isn't spying on Durk, Vonnie is her other right-hand man. Lil Durk and the DD family are close to Vonnie. He is no longer employed by the Bureau of Prisons, which means he has been released from detention, most likely under home arrest, according to a change made to his file in court today. Vonnie would even be able to send a message to a close friend or family member using a cell phone, but the recipient would turn on Vonnie and reveal all the details. Vonnie might write, for instance, "Yes, and I'm trying to appeal on a 32, which is the base for M for hire. Max's age is 43. 1 point would be deducted for submitting an early plea, 2 points for entering a plea without prior knowledge, and 2 points for filing a plea. As a result, I will only have 27 points or 5 to 7 years. It's better than that because I can't make it to the trial. They might elbow me, so I don't want to be treated the same way they did the other boys." When he says he doesn't want to become gut-like like those other men, he's actually referring to Jam, but more on that later. But at this point, a strange thing occurred. Van's father would now turn on his own son and say that he was disowning him because he had spied on Durk and F. He would even reveal that Lil Durk knew that Vonnie had played a significant role in King Von's demise.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the death of Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No, no way. That was right in there.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he...
Academics certainly do, so if you wish Vaughn was still with us, you should watch the video. He would eventually invite Vonnie's father to join him on stream so he could ask questions. Academics would wonder why Durk wanted King Vaughn taken out. The response will surprise you because you didn't know the police would even a remark in an evidence file. At the time of Vaughn's death, Durk and Vaughn were collaborating on a case. Since everything was settled behind closed doors, it is likely that Durk made a clandestine deal with the federal authorities, blaming King Vaughn, who is now incapable of defending himself, for the crime.
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their cheap spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting thing.
He was signing the boys. Von wasn't no.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that.
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
59. A tweet would then start to get a lot of shares. It states, given that Otiovani's father disclosed that Durk had Van handle it, I'm curious as to why Durk goes on Instagram Live when he's implicated in someone's death. Some fans think Durk utilizes Instagram as a live-action alibi because he went live on the platform when King Von, Lil Pab, FBG Duck, and other superstars passed away. This means that when the feds find out from him if they know anything about the crime, he can simply show them the timestamp from Instagram Live. However, Vanny's father is incensed that his son has joined the federal government as an agent.
No, he ain't take my rights. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they play. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages? Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and other. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
It's easy to snitch on someone in the neighborhood where Vonnie's father lives. King Von's sister would even corroborate it. Even if it seems like everything is against Durk, his lawyer's activities today can yet lead to his release from prison. When the second superseding indictment was made public, Durk filed a new request to dismiss because of its vagueness. Alternatively, if it is accepted, he requests a bill of particulars that includes the type of bounty, the audience, the date, the time, and the circumstances, as well as the coded language used. In the paperwork, Durk's lawyers are asking the prosecution to disclose the evidence that Lil Durk offers. Quando Rondo was the victim of a crime for which Lil Durk promised OBlock members a prize or a chance to perform. Additionally, what day and time was it? In a typical court case involving M for hire, all of the information would have been revealed by now. However, because the prosecution hasn't yet turned over the evidence, Durk's lawyers believe they don't even have anything against him. But the result of this was extremely corrupt. Durk looked his best at his court appearance after it was announced that he had been thrown in solitary confinement indefinitely after ACO discovered a cell phone in his jail cell.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
Some, however, believe that this was a cover-up for the real demise of Lil Durk. You see, it was shared. I don't care about anything else other than Durk right now. Lil Baby tweeted during a brawl with Lil Durk this morning inside a jail. Give the man a break. The real events, which began with a tweet reporting the death of Glee, Lil Durk's first buddy, in Chicago last night, would be connected by the streets. As a result, other members of F were targeted, raising the question of whether would want to exact revenge. Fans learned that F members were being dealt with the same day. Separate interviews with LOL Tim and Quando Rondo, both published on the same day, communicated the same message. Some believe the two were imitating LOL Durk, who uses Instagram Live as a live-action alibi, while others find it an odd coincidence. Both of them are making use of...
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f***ing shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
If you think this is strange, please leave a comment. Quando Rondo also stated that he wished it had been handled better.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like that could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Lil Durk admiring Durk and wishing things had gone differently in 2 interviews on the same day isn't strange at all. However, many believe that they acted swiftly on Lil Durk since they knew he was about to be released from prison. Words from Durk's father have Durk being released on a bond, the news claimed, citing an interview with Durk's own father. His lawyers made an offer that was too excellent for the judge to reject because this was his 3rd attempt.
Just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the 3rd time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Prosecutors dropped evidence against Durk, and he was given a date of release. The prosecutors read the evidence out in front of the judge during Lil Durk's court session today, stating that they are voluntarily discarding it against Durk, the press reported. I wonder how this will affect the rest of his bond hearing. Despite removing the evidence, the judge was supposed to make a decision today regarding giving Durk a link or not. Consequently, at the conclusion of the court day, the prosecutors took the stand, read the evidence aloud to the entire audience, and declared their willingness to drop it. According to their interpretation, the lyrics are, "They told me they got an attic, go. Got location, go. Look on the news. See your son screaming. No, no." The news article that perfectly matches those tunes is also displayed.
Now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Therefore, he will bear this in mind as he makes the decision he needs to make in 30 minutes regarding Durk's connection. In the end, he would remark that he needed a few days to decide, which even prompted Charleston White to reply.
This is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
It also made it possible for DJ Academics to be questioned by Lil Durk's own lawyer. He would even elaborate on how the prosecutors sabotaged.
Another allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
He would continue by saying that he had come to the conclusion that the accusations were unfounded and that the prosecutor's case was losing credibility since they were no longer able to use Durk's lyrics. The government no longer even uses the lyric-based evidence that they did have against Durk.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
And the judge eventually made up his mind. However, Durk would enter the courtroom a few days later. The Fed says Lil Durk would have to go broke and give up all of his property in order to be granted a bond, the news outlet would write. They fear he would bribe witnesses with his wealth.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
Interview 17, 11/17/55. Now Lil Durk's future is in jeopardy. The case's truth becomes more hazy every day as witnesses turn, evidence is lost, and prosecutors are under pressure. More than Durk's freedom, it will determine who actually